Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another Historical Humans Reacts. And today we are looking at a golden statue of Hercules that was
No,
struck by
gilded.
gilded, struck by
Gild.
lightning.
Yes. It is not
Hercules,
golded. The statue is in fact, I believe, cast bronze.
But gilded.
Um,
which really cool. You don't get too many
yeah.
bronze statues that survive.
Yeah. So this statue is 13 feet tall, and
Massive bastard.
yeah, and it has spent the last 150 years in a niche, uh, tucked away from everything and everyone. um, Due to the fact that it has that up until this year it had a dark coating over it, which is what is the image being removed. All those blackish spots getting wiped off very carefully.
I thought it was the plague.
Mm-hmm.
One
Um,
of many.
yeah, and that black coating is wax that was used to preserve it in the 19th century. Um, it is it is expected to return to full display in a new setting in the Vatican come this December.
Wow.
Oh god, I need to go. I
Yeah,
need to see it.
yeah, yeah. The original gilding is very well preserved, and this basically double life-size statue was first uncovered in 1864 near Rome's Campo de Fiore. So yeah, the Campo of Rome. So it's very rare for it to have survived, especially surviving in the city. And the reason for that is because the statue was apparently struck by lightning in antiquity, and as is custom, it was buried as a means of honoring the significance of this clearly blessed by the god statue. So it must be interred in the ground as a means of making the whole land sacred.
Now we usually associate lightning with
Zeus.
Zeus or in the Roman case Jupiter.
Jupiter.
However, this one's associated with Sumanus, who's of the nocturnal thunder,
Yeah,
which I have just learned, and I am really curious. I'm pretty sure there's probably like one reference in some obscure text about it.
yeah, yeah. The yeah, it's very fun. But yeah.
Also, the Pope was just like, "This is mine." Pope
Oh
Well,
yeah.
Pius the Ninth.
yeah, the statue was uncovered in 1864 during work on the banker's villa. So archaeology's been happening in Italy for a very long time.
You can
Uh,
call it archaeology.
Look, if they didn't do it, we wouldn't be here. You got to respect the past,
Uh,
even if it was
Yeah.
TNT. I'm looking at you,
Well,
Hans.
I don't think this was
Uh,
necessarily TNT. Yeah, this was
I know.
your
I'm just
con.
making a
You're
jab
coming
at
in.
Hans Schliemann.
We don't
Um,
talk.
but
We don't
yeah,
talk.
the interesting thing too is Pope Pius the Ninth saw it and was like, "This must be in the papal collections," and that leads me to my second point: is the fact that there's a Vatican Museum's archaeologist.
Yep.
That I think is
uh,
pretty darn cool.
Yeah. Well, they have a lot of stuff that they preserve and put on display. It's very beautiful. I've been in there. They do a pretty good job.
I need
But
to go. I
yeah,
need to see it.
one of the really fun things with this is just you gotta wonder just what this gift to the church got this banker, because the association of a banker and a pope is how you get a Medici.
Well, see, I think what they're implying is that it was a banker's villa in antiquity and that they were doing excavations on it or had come across
No,
it.
not necessarily, because the banker Pietro Rigetti had his name inscribed onto the statue alongside the name of Pope Pius the Ninth, Pope Pius's actual name, Mastai.
Oh, so it's the statue of Hercules Mastai Ragetti.
Yes, as in the statue of Hercules, found by Mastai, Pope Pius the Ninth, and Rigetti, Petro Rigetti, the banker who lived in the villa.
Okay.
So
Oh, and it
they,
comes with an inscription.
Yeah.
Along with that, but it comes with the inscription. Let's see, what is it? Oh, Fulgar
Yep.
conditum Sumanium, which they translate here as "Here is buried a Sumanian thunderbolt."
Yep.
Of course,
Yep.
of the nocturnal thunder god, but also it notes that not only is the object that struck is considered an association with divinity, but also the ground itself.
Yep.
So they believe that that's why it was buried there as well.
I
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
just can't imagine why a 13-foot tall metal statue might have conducted electricity.
Yeah.
Listen, no one had that concept back then.
Well, listen.
But also, it's been struck by lightning twice.
If it no, it just got struck by it once.
Oh, I thought I was
Um,
talking about it got struck
got
twice.
buried. It got buried by no. That was a misspeak there before we started. But the thing is, like, if it hadn't been buried, it would never have been survived. So being struck by lightning was clearly a divine favor, because without that random act of God, as insurance likes to define it, um, yes, I'm defining God by your insurance pamphlets.
Oh no.
Hell
Um,
yeah.
it would not have been buried and thus would not have survived, because in times of crisis, like what happened, say, during the fall of the Roman Empire, people tend to abduct and melt bronze statues to either make weapons or sell for money. It's sort of like ripping the copper wiring out of someone's house.
Or out of like an abandoned building, more or less.
Yep.
The interesting thing too is the statue originally is believed to have stood in Rome's Pompey Theater.
Mm-hmm.
Which, can either of you guys talk on that?
Yeah. So the Pompey Theater was built in Rome, I believe, by the great general Magnus Pompey of the Roman Republic. Pompey had won numerous military victories over King Mithridates, the Poison King of Greece, and as part of the celebration of his success and as a means of competing with his forever frenemy and rival Julius Caesar, Pompey commissioned the construction of a massive theater in the city of Rome as a means of displaying the grandeur of this victory for the Roman people. If the statue was housed there, it was either commissioned as part of the construction, or perhaps maybe more likely was placed there later.
It is really unique because this is a permanent theater on the Campus Martius. You can't have a tradition was you can't build an amphitheater or theater really on within the Pomerium, because fun fact, people get a little crazy at shows just like today.
Mars
And you don't want people running around the city angry or excited, and accidentally burning down the city again.
Let's be honest. This is a people whose successor state repeatedly rioted on the results of a chariot race.
I'm sure they had riots everywhere with chariot races.
I'm just saying, Constantinople was which was a successor of Rome, very much had regular rioting about the outcomes of chariot races. So I have no doubt that the Romans in Rome were very much the same as the ones in Constantinople.
I'm just staring at Vancouver in hockey.
Or Philadelphia.
Yeah, no, Philadelphia. You can riot when you win. You don't just riot when you lose.
Vancouver rioted when the Canucks lost the Stanley Cup in 2011.
Philadelphia rioted when the Eagles won what the hell is it called in football?
The Super
Bowl.
The Super Bowl. In year I don't care to remember.
Remember, kids, here on this podcast, we don't care about sports history.
Well, no, I like some sports, but yeah.
Okay, let's just call them.
No,
I'm learning about sports history.
It's just you.
Yeah, you're the odd one out. You're trying to get this gang mentality, but you're the odd one.
No, I'm learning about sports history currently.
And on that tragic bombshell, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Be sure to subscribe.